Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Jagat Krishna Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Kunde ki Prema Kundi. So a heartfelt welcome to everyone for this very, very special evening. It's like echo everywhere. So we are very, very grateful that everyone is here, even though it's a weekday, working day. And so if you are on Zoom, please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, so before we start, we would like to introduce you and also welcome one of our very dear friend, ISKCON family member, now ISKCON Richmond family member. She moved from LA and now she is here in Richmond, a very, very wonderful devotee of the Lord. Her name is Deborah and she's here for the first time. So we are very, very happy, very, very grateful to have you, Deborah. Let's welcome Deborah to ISKCON of Richmond by very, very loudly chanting. So we welcome everyone. Today is another wonderful, blissful evening as we have the association of His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. So most of us already know about Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, but I see that here are few wonderful devotees who came for the first time. So I just want to give a very, very brief and quick introduction about His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu is a senior disciple of Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He is based in Govardhan Eco Village in Mumbai, India, where he is the dean of a Vedic or Vaishnav college called Bhaktivedanta Vidyapeeth. For over 14 years, he's been serving over there. And by education, he's a master's in science and some automation or something. I don't know how he's into scriptures like that. But anyways, Prabhu has been serving in so many wonderful ways, but his primary seva is sharing the scriptures, not just the book, but what's inside the book. And Prabhu's been traveling all over the world, literally different continents, Europe, America, Australia, Asia. So in this one trip, I was, asking him to go, okay, where So it was like 2 months of 4 different continents. So anyway, so he's empowered by Lord to share this message, and we are so very blessed to have his association here in Richmond. He's author of 35 books. Oh my God, looks like table is already going to be emptied out. So yeah, before so we have, okay, here you go. So we have many wonderful books written by Prabhu over on that table. So if you would like, you can look at it, grab some, nice titles, and then you can get it signed by the author today. So that's a wonderful opportunity. So without any further ado, let's welcome and thank His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu by very, very loudly chanting. Last but not least, we would like to express our gratitude to Nalini Mataji and Ramakrishnananda Prabhu for very, very beautifully arranging everything. And also, Prasadam is, cooked by Mataji and in service of all the Vaishnavas. So let's thank them by very loudly chanting. Okay, so over to you, Prabhuji. Great.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sarangyena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamayam Dadati Swavadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Radhamanam Shri Gurun Vaishnavasya Shri Rupa Sagrajata Sahaganaratam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Payanasitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Sahaganaratam Shri Vishakam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatkale Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Tata Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindaveswari Vrishabhanu Sudevi Pranamami Hari Priye Kalpatarubhyasya Prabham Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desakale Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaurabharinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Welcome all the devotees for today's session on tackling distresses the Vrindavan way. Distresses are inevitable in this world, and the material world itself is designated by its creator as Dukhalaya Mataksakam, the place of miseries, and whatever little happiness is there in this world is also temporary. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Not sharp enough, Guru. Voice is not sharp enough. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You can turn it this way. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Echo. Hare. Some of these settings are important for us to discuss comfortably for the next 1.5 minutes. Hare Krishna. So this world is designated by Hare Krishna. This is much better. Yeah, very good. It's lighter also. No bondage. The creator of this world has designated this place as Dukhalaya Masaswata, the place which is full of miseries and temporariness. How can we expect any happiness in a place that is designated to give us distress? When you enter a salt mine, you will only find salt everywhere. Even by your great fortune, you won't be able to find some sugarcane juice falling from one corner of the salt mine, or gulab jamun syrup falling from another corner of the salt mine, or rasmalai milk falling from another corner. Not possible. Salt mine means only salt. Wherever you search in the ocean, in the saltwater ocean, however deep you may go, whichever direction you may go, you will not find sweet water. You will not find coconut water. You will only find salt water. The sugar, the coconut trees that may be standing on the bank of the ocean may have sweet coconut water, but the ocean itself is salty in nature. It's nature. It's intrinsic nature. Salt has to be salty. Sugar particle has to be sweet. And some fruits, they have to be sour. It's a distraction. We cannot find happiness in a place which is meant to give us miseries. That's the nature of this material world. However, we can still remain unaffected by the miseries of this world. There are 3 types of miseries: Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, Adibhautika kleshas. Adhyatmika, the miseries caused by our own body and mind. Adibhautika kleshas are those miseries caused by other living beings. Adidevika kleshas are miseries caused by natural calamities. So all 3 types of miseries are constantly there in this material world. And this material world is meant to give us heat and cold and happiness and distress. One way of dealing with it is tolerance. So, Michael is coming?
Yes.
Yeah, please do something. Or is it because of the phones close to it? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yesterday it was quite good. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Matra sparshastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkha Agamapagino nitya samstitikshasva bharata. Krishna says, samstitikshasva bharata. Tolerate the inevitable appearances of happiness and distress in this world. Sitoshna sukha dukkha daha. There is happiness, there is heat and cold. Sita and Ushna. Sukha and dukkha, happiness and distress. So heat and cold affect us on a bodily plane. And happiness and distress affect us on mental plane. Honor and dishonor affect us on egoistic plane. Therefore Krishna says, Sitoshna sukha dukkheshu tatha manapamanayoh. Man apan. Nindanastava satkara nyakarartham kalevaram. This kalevaram, this human body, is meant to experience nindana, criticism, satkara, praise, natkara, means somebody praises us, somebody criticizes us, somebody finds fault with us, somebody appreciates us so much. That's the purpose of this world. To experience dualities in this world is the purpose of our human existence. So, how can we expect any happiness in this world? So, one way to deal with that dualities in this world is to tolerate. The art of tolerance, Krishna says. What is the basis of tolerance? Why should we tolerate? What's the logic behind tolerating? Why should I tolerate? The answer is very logical and simple. We need to tolerate because everything is permanent. Tolerating distress is okay, at least it makes some sense. Tolerating happiness also. Tolerate happiness and distress both. Sometimes when we are having certain happy moments in life, we become so attached to that happiness, we become so elated, we become so overexcited, we become so overconfident, we become proud, we become arrogant, we look down upon people who are not so happy like us. That's not good. Somebody got good marks in the exam. Definitely that gives happiness. But that does not mean you look down upon people who did not get good scores like you. So, in this material world, experiencing happiness will not just stop at experiencing happiness, it will also go a little overboard and the person starts looking down upon people who do not have that experience of happiness. A great sense of satisfaction in material pleasures, a deep sense of excitement in material prosperity will inevitably make us look down upon people who are not having similar experiences like us. Therefore, we need to tolerate happiness, tolerate prosperity, tolerate success. Don't get overexcited in success and happiness. That's why Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, Sukha dukkhe sabe kritva labha labho jaya jayo. Sukha dukkhe sabe kritva. Be equipoised in happiness and distress. Labha alabha, victory and gain, or gain and loss. Jaya ajaya, victory and defeat. Be equipoised. Initially, Krishna said tolerate it. Tolerate happiness, distress, for example. You have to tolerate distress. Yeah, we need to deal with the distress in an appropriate way, but we can't get so overwhelmed with distress. We can't just become so depressed or demotivated or deranged or dysfunctional just because there's a distressful moment. We need to tolerate distress. We need to tolerate happiness. But there's a level above tolerating happiness and distress. That is equanimity. In the 14th shloka, Krishna said, Sitoshna Sukha Dukkheshu. Krishna said, Matra Sparshasta Kaunteya, Sitoshna Sukha Dukkhada, Agama Apayam. They come and they go. They're temporary. They don't have permanent effect. Some Tidikshasta Bharata, so tolerant. So your tolerance is based on the understanding that it's temporary, knowing the transient natures of happiness and distress and all dualities in this world, tolerating. But one step beyond tolerance is equanimity. In the next shloka, Krishna says, Yam hinavyatha yantyete purusham purusharshabha sama dukkha sukham dhiram somrutatvaya kalpate. Sama dukkha sukham dhiram. Be equipoised in happiness and distress. Tolerating happiness and tolerating distress is on one level. But seeing happiness and distress on an equal plane is on a higher level. You are tolerating happiness and distress. Means you are experiencing happiness, but you are controlling yourself. You are experiencing distress, but you are controlling yourself, tolerating it. That's tolerance, addiction. But you are seeing happiness and distress on an equal plane. Earlier, at the level of tolerance, you are able to perceive the difference between happiness and distress. And you are tolerating it. But at the level of equanimity, you are not seeing the difference between happiness and distress. Whether it is happiness or distress, they are of no relevance to the soul. When a child wants a toy, for example, the child wants bottle. Went to the shop to purchase bottle. One child says, I want this saffron color, saffron bottle. Another, and there are two options, saffron bottle, there's blue bottle, there's green bottle, there's red bottle, there are 4 or 5 options there. The child is excited with saffron color, not with blue, green, red, yellow, etc. The father has to buy it. The father has to pay for it. Say the shopkeeper says it is $10. Father just has to see if I have $10 in the pocket. But the child is caught up. Should I take red one or yellow one or saffron? But father, whether it is red or yellow or blue, doesn't matter. For the child, it's a big reality. The father, equal. Samadukha sukham dhiram. So let it happen. Red gives distress to the child, green gives happiness to the child, but for father, equal. Both are kind of different. Both are kind of. The bottle itself is okay. Sometimes kids want toys. They want toy cars. Red car, green car. Which car is more attractive? Which car you like? Red or green? Red. Okay. Toys. So red toy car gives her more excitement and not green. But her father, $10. Both are same. Father has a higher taste. I have a real car. Whether it is red car or green car, both are toys. So I have no excitement in both. I know I have a real car. So all I have to do is just to make the child happy, I have to use this $10 to purchase a red car. Otherwise, I have a better car. I have a higher taste. So we need to develop higher taste in life. Then we can transcend the dualities of happiness and distress on a lower plane. Red car may give happiness to the child and green car may give distress to the child, but for the father, both are same because the father has a higher taste, greater experience, he has a greater understanding of life. Similarly, the so-called happy moments in our life and so-called distressful moments in our life will not cause happiness and distress to us when we elevate ourselves to a higher plane of spiritual consciousness. So that's the way of dealing with distresses. That's why Krishna says, cultivate that equanimity. So many times Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, cultivate equanimity. In fact, he said, Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Yoga means connection with the Supreme Lord Krishna. And connection can be established in 4 ways, as Krishna said in Gita. What are they? Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. So 4 ways of connecting with the Lord. Yoga means connecting with the Lord. But Krishna says Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Samatvam means equanimity is yoga. Yoga means you are trying to connect with God. So what is the result of connecting with God? You are not perceiving the difference between happiness and distress, victory and defeat, success and failure, heat and cold, honor and dishonor, respect and disrespect. You are not perceiving these material differences at all. On the basis of your connection with the Lord, you have no relevance to the happiness and distress of this material world. You are just doing it as a duty. By living in this world, I have to inevitably do it. I'm not attached to it. Let me just follow the protocol, that's all. I'm not attached to it. If I'm traveling in India, I'll keep to the left side. If I'm traveling in America, I'll keep to the right side. Fine. Doesn't matter. Just follow the protocol. It doesn't give me happiness or distress. I'm just doing it as a matter of duty. But I have a higher taste. Whether you're in India or America, chanting Hare Krishna song. Whether you're traveling on the left side of the road or right side of the road, that doesn't give you any happiness or distress. You're just following it as a duty, as a norm. Thus, by cultivating higher taste in our life, by elevating our consciousness to a higher plane, we transcend the inevitable dualities in the material. When you're going on the road, red signal will stop your car. If you don't stop, cameras are there. Although traffic police is not there, but cameras are there. Prabhu was educating me yesterday. In some countries, police will stop you. But here, camera is there. And we'll get some report, right? Ticket. We'll get ticket. We call it ticket. Chalan. We'll get ticket. Air ticket or bus ticket. Pay $10, pay $20.
The dollar ticket now is quite expensive.
Quite expensive ticket will get. So when you're traveling on the road, red signal will stop you and green signal will take you ahead. But when you're traveling in an airplane, will this red signal stop the car, stop the plane? Will the green signal allow the plane to move ahead? It has no relevance. Red signal or green signal, both are of no relevance to someone who is traveling in an airplane. Similarly, the red signal of distress and the green signal of happiness on the material plane are of no relevance to a devotee who is elevated in Krishna consciousness. The real way of tackling distresses in life is to elevate our consciousness to spiritual plane so that happiness and distress on the material plane will be eradicated. We will not even perceive the difference. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Everything is same. Happiness and distress, both are temporary. Both have nothing to do with the soul. Soul has nothing to do with both of them. What's the point of getting overwhelmed? Just do the needful. Just whatever you need to do on a practical plane, just do it and close it. First, you have connection with Krishna. That's how devotee deals with distress. Now let's come to Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, let's begin with Mathura first. Before Lord Krishna appeared as the son of Mother Devaki and Vasudeva in Kamsa's prison cell, Kamsa killed Devaki's 6 sons. Right on the day of the marriage of Devaki and Vasudeva, Kamsa heard an Akashvani that the 8th child of Devaki is going to kill you. That's the beginning of troubles. Vasudeva never felt, I married Devaki and I entered presence. When Kamsa took out his sword to kill Devaki, as soon as he heard Akashvani, Vasudeva could have just immediately left the child and went home. I just married her. This Kamsa's sister is Devaki, and they have relationship with each other since long time, since their birth, and I'm a new person here. Vasudeva just came in contact with Devaki. That was the first day of marriage. But Kamsa is planning to kill Devaki, and Vasudeva could have just walked out of the place and then found another bride for marriage. But he did not do that. He wanted to protect his wife. newly wedded wife. That's nature of Vaishnava. Although the relationship is very fresh and very new, and hardly a couple of hours or so, they did not even spend one day also together. They did not even go home. This marriage is over, they're just going home, on the way it happened. But he felt responsible to protect his wife. But Kamsa, who has been seeing her since her birth, has given up all his love and affection towards his sister. As soon as he has heard that her existence will cause harm to this person. That's how self-centered people, egoistic people behave. So Vasudeva started negotiating with Kamsa. In so many ways, Samadana Veda, by presenting comparison, by praising him, by reminding him of a sense of duty and responsibility in various ways. By speaking philosophy, he tried to stop Kamsa. Vasudeva took a great risk. Kamsa, if he becomes very angry, he could have killed Vasudeva also. But fortunately, he did not attempt to do so. He's very cruel. He has no self-control, and everybody knows it also. But still, just to protect his life, Vasudeva did anything. Vasudeva had no ability to fight with Kamsa. But he thought, at least let me verbally try to convince him. If I can't physically counteract him, let me try to verbally convince him. So he took up his, Kamsa took up his sword, Vasudeva started speaking. And to cut the long story short, finally Vasudeva promised, I will offer every child of Devaki to you as soon as the child is born. At least don't kill her now. Vasudeva, Kamsa agreed with this. And after that, year after year, Devaki Mata is giving birth to children and Kamsa is killing them one by one, ruthlessly killing them. Distress. This world is meant to give us distress. Even Krishna's parents had to experience the distress. And what to speak of any one of you, you and me. Even Krishna's parents also had to experience tremendous amount of distress before Krishna's appearance. But it's worth experiencing all the distress to have Krishna in our lives. But when Krishna appeared in the lives of Devaki and Vasudeva, did they have the happiness of having him with them? No. Again, fear overwhelmed them. Vasudeva had to take Krishna, little baby Krishna, newborn baby Krishna, all the way to Vrindavan, Gokul Mahavan, and leave him there and come back with the little daughter of Mother Yashoda, Durga. Then Kamsa tried to kill her also. But Devaki is trying to protect her. Please, he's not a boy, she's a girl. You should never kill a girl. You should never harm a girl. When she's grown up, she will become your daughter-in-law. She can marry your son. Please, don't kill her. So when her child, Krishna, is safely staying in Gokul Mahavan, Devaki is trying to save Yashoda Mata's soul. He is not thinking, anyways, my child is safe, let her go. Let this kid be killed. She was not thinking like that. No sane person would like to see an innocent being being harmed. So Devaki Mata is trying to protect, but still Kamsa ruthlessly tried to kill her. And you know what happened? She appeared in the sky and then gave a warning to Kamsa. But the main point I wanted to make is, before Krishna's appearance, Devaki and Vasudeva had to experience tremendous amount of distress. And those 6 children, in one sense, they resemble 6 anarthas. When anarthas are killed, then Krishna will make his appearance. That's one comparison given by the ancients. Anyways, come to Vrindavan, come to Gokul Mahavan. Krishna appeared in Gokul Mahavan, Vasudeva brought him there. And by the way, Krishna took birth in Gokul Mahavan also. Krishna appeared in a 4-handed form in Kamsa's prison cell as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. And Krishna appeared in a 2-handed form as the son of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata in Gokul Mahavan. When Vasudeva brought that 4-handed Krishna, 4-handed became 2-handed also. When Vasudeva brought his baby Krishna to Gokul Mahavan and made him sleep next to Mother Yashoda, this Krishna merged with Yashoda's Krishna. Did Vasudeva see two Krishnas there? No. Because Vasudeva's mood is different from Yashoda Mata's mood. Vasudeva had a different mood. What is that mood? That mood is that of reverence. Definitely Vasudeva also has Vatsalya Bhava, parental affection towards Krishna, but that parental affection is tinged with reverential feelings. Vasudeva not only considers Krishna as God, Krishna as his son, he also considers Krishna as God. So Vasudeva had Aishwarya Jnana Yukta Vatsalya Bhava. Easy to understand? Aishwarya Jnana Yukta Vatsalya Bhava means his parental affection is tinged with knowledge of Krishna's opulences. But Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata, they had pure Vatsalya Bhava called Kevala Vatsalya, not Aishwarya Jnana Yukta Vatsalya. So Vasudeva could not see this Yashoda Krishna. He thought he kept his baby Krishna there. But actually there was another baby Krishna also, both the Krishnas married. Now Krishna appeared. And all the Vrajavasis celebrated the appearance of Krishna. They rejoiced so much. Nanda Maharaj celebrated his son's birthday. And the ceremony is called? Not the Nandotsav. Nandotsav. So they celebrated Nandotsav. Just 4 or 5 days passed. Nanda Maharaj had to pay taxes to Kamsa. So Nanda Maharaj went to Mathura to pay taxes. Then, meanwhile, Kamsa had dispatched several of his demonic associates to find children who were born in the last 10 days and kill them. And one of the foremost Rakshasis engaged in this most glorious project is Putana. So Putana transformed herself into a very beautiful, motherly lady and came to Gokul to kill Krishna. As soon as Krishna's appearance is predicted, there were problems in Devaki Vasudeva's lives. As soon as Krishna entered Gokul Mahavan, problems began. Right. Although you want Krishna's appearance in your lives, that appearance doesn't happen without problems. Before Krishna appeared in Gokul Mahavan, no Putana came, no Sakarasur, no Bakasur, no Vatsasur, no Vyamasur, no Haristasur. But as soon as Krishna came, so many demons also came along with Krishna, searching for Krishna. Krishna was hardly 2 days old. Putana came. Putana came to Gokul Mahavan, transformed herself into a very beautiful lady, motherly lady, and bewildered every single Vrajavasi. Everybody thought that Lakshmi Devi has come here, or some kind of heavenly damsel has come here. In our Vrindavan, our Gokul Mahavan has become very fortunate to even host her, to even witness her. Is she Lakshmi, who came to see Lord Narayana, who is being worshipped in Nanda Maharaj's home? They were thinking like that. Even Rohini Mata and Yashoda Mata also did not hesitate to allow her into their homes. Generally, when a very small newborn baby is there in the home, nobody would allow a stranger woman to just come inside the home, enter the inner chambers, pick up the child and start feeding milk to it. Who would allow like that? But Yashoda Mata and Rohini Mata did not stop Putana at all. In fact, they trusted her. In fact, they thought that it is our little Krishna's great fortune to be able to have milk of this heavenly damsel, this special lady. Maybe she will bless him in various ways. That's what they thought. But that's not the case. She wanted to kill. She kept some Kalakuta poison in her body and she wanted to give poison to Krishna and kill Krishna. That's her malicious intention. But what did Krishna do? Krishna sucked her milk and life aids and killed her. Padbhyam bhakta hridistabhyam vadyabhyam loka vanditai gamyasyaha samakramya bhagavanapi tatstanam yatu dhanyapi sasvarga bhavapajanani gatim Krishna bhuktasthana kshiraha kimugavo numataraha Padbhyam bhakta hridistabhyam. The lotus feet of Lord Krishna are constantly meditated upon by his devotees within their hearts. Even to perceive the darshan of Krishna's lotus feet within one's heart is such a great privilege. And what privilege did Putana get? Not just darshan of Krishna's lotus feet in her heart, and not even live darshan. She got the embrace of Krishna. Angam yasyaha samakramya bhagavan api tatstanam. She just embraced Krishna so tightly. And Krishna embraced her so tightly. At one point, she says, leave me, sir, leave me, leave me. She's not leaving only. If Krishna is not leaving only. If Krishna embraces you, will you say, leave me, leave me? No, right? If Krishna embraces you for half an hour, you don't mind, right? Putana says, leave me. Get lost from here. But Krishna is not leaving. That's another point. When you say, leave me, Krishna will say, yeah, tham prapadyante, tam sadeva bhajame. I will leave you. But Krishna is not leaving only. Forcefully hugging her. Finally, Krishna exposed her real form as a great Rakshasi, gigantic witch, which is like I think 8 miles long, or 12 miles long, 8 miles long body, and finally Krishna killed her. But he gave her the position of motherliness in the spiritual world. But the focus here now, today's current topic is there is calamity in Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, as soon as Krishna appeared, there was a great calamity in the form of this witch, Rakshasi, Putana, who created great disturbance and great anxiety. At that time, Nanda Maharaj and all the elderly cowherd members were also not there. They went to Mathura to pay taxes to Kamsa. And what happened to the simple gopis and simple cowherds? They had to alone handle this whole situation where Putana came to kill baby Krishna. It's very dangerous. Somehow 3 months passed. It was Utthana ceremony now. Utthana ceremony is organized when a baby, 3-month-old baby, turns on his own. The babies, very small babies, don't have the ability to even turn on their back or turn on their bellies. The mothers have to do all that. But Krishna, for the first time, he managed to turn on his own. So that stage of child's growth is celebrated with the parents as Utthana ceremony. In the Vedic culture, every significant stage of a child's growth is celebrated by parents and it's never a burden. And parents may have so many children also, but still, it was never a burden. It was celebrated. So Mother Yashoda is celebrating this festival. Nandotsava was celebrated by Nanda Maharaj, and Yashoda Mata became an assistant to Nanda Maharaj. Utthana ceremony was led by Yashoda Mata, and Nanda Maharaj became her assistant. In this way, in taking care of children, sometimes father takes lead, mother will become assistant. Sometimes mothers take lead and fathers will become assistants. That's how, with the combined affection of father and mother in different flavors, child will grow physically, emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually strong. That's the contribution of parents to the upbringing of a child. So Mother Yashoda is happily celebrating with us. She was holding little baby Krishna in her hands, 3-month-old baby, and she was receiving all guests. As some gopis were coming, she was just putting kumkum on their faces, giving them bangles and saris and necklaces. She was giving charity to Brahmanas. She was donating cows and grains to Brahmanas. Like that, she was celebrating. And Krishna and Brahmanas started chanting mantras. And Krishna was yelling. Sometimes when Brahmanas chant mantras, even Krishna also comes like he yawns immediately in the board with the reverential chanting of mantras. But when gopis are scolding Krishna, Krishna will never yawn. Krishna is very attentive. He is noting down every single word spoken by the gopis so that he can teach them a lesson the next day. Oh, you spoke like this against me to my mother? I will teach you a lesson. Tomorrow I will come to your home and create havoc in your home. Just wait. Not a single pot in your home will be alive. I'll make powder of all this. Not a single spoon of butter will remain. I will distribute everything to monkeys. So that's how Krishna is attentive when gopis scold, because that's done out of love. But these chantings are done out of reverence. Reverence is also good, it's positive emotion, but love is higher than respect. Formal respect has its own flavor. Intimate love has more is a significant flavor that will give more joy to Krishna. Anyways, Krishna felt sleepy. What did Mother Yashoda do? Yashoda Mata took Krishna to the courtyard and made him sleep under a household cart. There was enough space for both mother and child to sleep there. There was a nice cradle there. Yashoda Mata made Krishna sleep and she also slept next to Krishna for a moment till the baby peacefully went into sleep. And then she gently got up and started engaging with the guests, attending to the guests. Meanwhile, a great demon named Utkacha appeared there in Vrindavan. And this Utkacha entered into the cart. He was a ghost. I will not get into his back history and all that. He was a ghost. He did not have a body. He entered into the cart. By entering the cart, he wanted to make the cart very heavy and he wanted to crush Krishna under the cart. So the cart was slowly coming down. Meanwhile, Krishna was happily sleeping, and at one point, Krishna woke up. As it is very natural for babies, 3-month-old babies, to throw their hands and legs into the air while crying, Krishna also started throwing his hands and legs into the air while crying. And his tender, butter soft foot touched this cart, which was coming towards him. Because of the weight of the utensils, gold and copper and silver utensils on the heavy cart, the cart was just coming down. And also because of demon's entrance, the cart was just coming down. Then Krishna kicked the cart. With the gesture of a kick, Krishna threw the leg into the air. With the touch of Krishna's tender foot, the cart overturned and fell, completely got dismantled, and the demon died. And all the Brajavasis have absolutely no clue how this has happened. But there were some small children, not 3-month-old babies, but maybe 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old kids were there playing next to the cart, and they noticed the cart was falling on Krishna slowly, and Krishna kicked the cart, therefore the cart fell down. And the elders were wondering, how did the cart fall down? Then these little kids gave a report. We have seen this baby Krishna kicked the cart, therefore the cart fell down. Nobody believed them. Sometimes children are very innocent, they speak in a very straightforward manner the truth. They don't analyze so much. Whatever they say, they just report. But elders are overly analytical. They can't understand the truth sometimes. Sometimes when you're innocent, you can understand the truth better. When you're overly intelligent, you may not understand the truth. It can be other way around also, but still. In this case, how the cat was dislocated, it was understood by kids and not the adults. Anyways, and the second calamity. First calamity in the form of Putana, second calamity in the form of Chakarasa. Then, some days passed. Krishna became a 1-year-old baby. One day, Mother Yashoda made Krishna sit on her lap, and she was just throwing Krishna up and catching him, throwing Krishna up and catching him. Like that, she was playing with Krishna. Krishna enjoyed it. Sometimes kids become fearful, and sometimes they enjoy it. So Krishna was happily enjoying it. But he desired Yashoda Mata is throwing me just few feet above the ground level. I want to go much higher. I want to go 800,000 miles higher. This is the land. Pranavata came in the form of a brilliant Chakravarta. As Trinavarta was coming, Krishna's body weight increased mystically. Yashodamata could not bear his weight anymore. He became as heavy as a mountain peak. What did Yashodamata do? She just kept Krishna on the ground, ran into the home to call some Brahmanas, just so that these Brahmanas will chant some mantras and protect Krishna. This is a common theme in Vrindavan. Whenever Krishna exhibits some kind of unusual behavior, whenever some demon attacks Krishna, the Brahmanas were called, they were chanting. So she went inside the home to call the Brahmanas. And meanwhile, Trinavarta came and picked up Krishna and went into the sky, 800,000 miles sky, into the higher outer space. Then, again, to cut the long story short, after going into the sky, all the Brajavasis on the earthly plane, they were experiencing tremendous amount of distress and separation from Krishna. Because of this whirlwind, our entire Gokul was filled with Rajasa Tamasavritam, filled with dust particles and darkness. They were searching for Krishna, but nobody could find Krishna, nobody could hear each other, nobody could see each other. They were tremendously anxious. Another calamity in Vrindavan. In fact, Bhagavatam says every day there is some calamity, but some demons only are described. Especially when Krishna started tending cows, every day some demons were coming. But some demons were mentioned there. So Trinavarta created such great havoc and disturbance in Vrindavan that in Gokul Mahavan, all the Brajavasis wanted to search for Krishna. They were feeling separation from Krishna, especially the motherly gopis were feeling so much separation from Krishna. They were crying. They fell unconscious. They got up again. They cried for Krishna. And Yashoda Mata was in great separation from Krishna, but other motherly gopis tried to console her by surrounding her. Please don't worry. But they could not console her because these themselves were also affected by this distress. How could they console? If you yourself are overwhelmed so much by some distress, do you have the ability to console someone else? They were all crying, sitting in one place. Meanwhile, Krishna, who went into the sky, enjoyed his ride. His desire is fulfilled. He gave his darshan to all the heavenly devatas. Now he started missing his mother. Where is my mother? Go down in Gokul Mahavan. So what did Krishna do? Krishna, like imitating the behavior of a normal child, Krishna became very fearful. When the children are just raised so high in the sky, sometimes they enjoy, sometimes they become also fearful, right? So Krishna, imitating the nature of a small child, he became fearful. He held onto the neck of Trinavarta so tightly that he could not even breathe. And Trinavarta was completely choked out. And Krishna became as heavy as a mountain peak again. Earlier, when Trinavarta came, Krishna became as light as a feather. When Trinavarta took him high into the sky, he became as heavy as a mountain peak again. Trinavarta could not bear his weight. He wanted to throw Krishna away, but he's unable to throw because he's holding on to Krishna is holding on to Trinavarta's neck so tightly. So Trinavarta, helplessly, his eyes popped out of his sockets and he fell down on a big boulder right next to the gopis who were lamenting for Krishna in separation. So Trinavarta died. Third calamity mentioned. Again, after some time, Krishna was hardly 2-3-year-old boy. Damodar Leela happened. And Mother Yashoda tried to bind Krishna. She finally managed to bind Krishna's belly. Then Krishna dragged the wooden grinding mortar between the two Yamalarjuna trees, and the Yamalarjuna trees were uprooted. And again, another calamity in Vrindavan. There are series of calamities after Krishna's appearance in Vrindavan. Bhutana, Trinavarta, Sakatasar. Then this Yamalarjuna trees fell down out of the blue. There was no wind, there was no storm. Nobody tried to cut them down with axes. And Krishna is right in the middle of Yamalarjuna trees. And they were so tall, they could have fallen on any child, any cow, any calf, any home. But no damage has happened, but it's a havoc. So after this series of calamities, series of distresses in Vrindavan, all the elderly members of Vrindavan had a big meeting. Nanda Maharaj, Upananda, and many other elderly Cowherd men had a big meeting. They were specifically considering that this Gokul Mahavan, not Vrindavan, Gokul Mahavan is filled with so many demons, it seems. Every now and then some demon is coming and disturbing the peace of Vrindavan. They are specifically targeting Krishna and Balaram. What would have happened to all of us if the two Yamarajana trees fell on Krishna? He was stuck between the trees, but they did not know. Krishna only uprooted them. But their understanding is they fell down because of some reason. Some ghost was there, some Rakshasi was there, something like that. They were considering to relocate. This place is filled with so many distresses. We cannot survive here. Putana came and tried to kill Krishna. Trinavarta took him so high into the sky. How Krishna survived? And the cart, for no reason, started falling down on Krishna. Somehow, Lord Narayana saved Krishna. What will happen to other children and Krishna in future if we continue to live here in Gokul Mahavan? We must relocate from here. We cannot stay here. Let us go to Vrindavan from Gokul Mahavan. Right on that day, on that very day, they made a decision, they made all arrangements, they loaded all their bullock carts with their luggage, they kept cows in front, they made all the women and children board the bullock carts, and the Cowherdmen started walking, and they shifted from Gokul Mahavan to Vrindavan right on that day. By this time, Krishna is about 3 years, 4 months old. It was the time for Krishna to get trained as a Cowherd boy. All the elderly Cowherd men found a nice muhurta on Gopashtami day and told Krishna, you along with your friends who are of equal age, all of you should go to the nearby forest, which is very close to our home, and start taking care of the little calves. There are so many little calves in our community, in our Goshala. Take this calves for grazing. So all these little boys went to the forest along with the calves. Then something exciting is happening there. As soon as Krishna and all the Gopas entered the forest, one little calf came there. Very beautiful, sweet calf. But Krishna noticed, is this calf our calf? Doesn't look like. This must be some new calf. He noticed closely, this calf is a demon. What did Krishna do? The calf is Vatsasur, who came in the form of an innocent calf just to kill Krishna. So Krishna just went and caught the hind legs of the calf and twirled him around like this, just by the vigorous circling movement, the calf died. And Krishna threw that calf on a kapitha tree, and because of the weight of the calf, the kapitha fruit started falling down, and all the gopas enjoyed the kapitha fruits. What is the reason for their relocation from Gokul Mahavan to Vrindavan? Avoid the demons. As soon as they went there, another demon attacked. That too in the form of an innocent calf. Who would doubt an innocent calf? Sometimes calamities come in our lives through really unassuming, innocent sources also. Sometimes we may think, What harm is there in drinking this water? You may just take some little water in a water bottle. You may have some food poisoning. The water may not be very pure. Sometimes we may eat something and that we may have some food poisoning. Or we may trust somebody who is on the street and they happen to be cheating us. We may just go to a shop to purchase something and they may cheat us. In this way, we may be cheated, we may be exploited, we may face some reversals and calamities and problems through really innocent, unexpected sources also. Who would doubt a car? Who would doubt a very beautiful motherly lady who is acting like a mother and then trying to feed milk to this little new baby? Who would even doubt that a household cart will fall? Who would doubt that long-standing trees will just fall down? Unless there are so many trees standing there. As you're walking, if they fall down, what will happen? There's no expectation. Nobody will expect that it will just fall without any storm or without any floods or without any tufan. So many calamities in this in Vrindavan. This calf, the peculiar aspect of Vrindavan is that many demons came in very innocent forms. Sometimes in the form of a calf, in the form of a trustworthy woman, in the form of a gopa boy, in the form of a crane, in the form of a cowhead boy, bull, cave, bull, Arishtasur, horse. So the forms are very simple. An ass, a donkey. Forms are very simple, but their hearts are very tyrannic. Sometimes great wizards and tyrants came in very innocent attires to harm Krishna and to destroy Krishna. And Krishna exposed their deception and destroyed them eventually. Sometimes in this world, people really act in a very trustworthy manner only to exploit us. That's the nature of this world. How did Indra come to steal the sacrificial hearts of Prithu? He came in the form of a sannyasi, a trustworthy sannyasi. In those days, now Kali Yuga is filled with so many kinds of people, but in those days, sannyasis are very trustworthy. The sannyasis are respected. Even now, in Kali Yuga also, many times sannyasis are respected in cultural societies. But in those days, they used to get a lot of respect, but he accepted a respectable and trustworthy attire with a wrong attitude to disrupt the worship of Lord Vishnu, to disrupt a sacrifice done by a pure devotee like him. Can you just imagine? That's the nature of this world. Anyways, come back to this Vrindavan episode. As soon as the Vrajavas is relocated from Gokul Mahavan to Vrindavan, there is another calamity. As soon as Krishna killed Vatsasur, there is another demon named Bakasur, who is the brother of Putana. He came in the form of a crane and just swallowed Krishna. As soon as he came there, he just swallowed Krishna with a beak, and Krishna ended his throat. And all the Prajavasis, all the cowhead boys, they fainted. 3-4-year-old boys. Can you just imagine? They are there alone in the forest, and their friend was swallowed by a big crane, who is like as big as a big mountain, white mountain. And they did not know what to do. They all fainted. They became unconscious. Even Balramji fainted. Seeing this, the Devatas became very kind, and Brahma came with his Brahma Danda to kill Bakasur. Nothing happened to Bakasur. Indra came with his thunderbolt, Vajrayudha. Nothing happened to Bakasur. Yamaraj also came with his Yamadanda. Nothing happened to Bakasur. Kartikeya came on his peacock to kill Bakasur. Nothing happened to him. Bhadrakali came. Vayu came. Next. Agni Devata came. Tried to burn Bakasur. Nothing happened to Bakasur. Finally, Lord Shiva came. Finally, Shiva managed to cut one wing of Bakasur, but still Bakasur did not die. All the Devatas tried their best with the best of their weapons to kill Bakasur, but nobody could kill Bakasura. Even though apparently they harmed Bakasura to some degree, again Bakasura came back with rejuvenated strength and all the devatas became a failure and they went back to their reports. Now, who will rescue Krishna? And who has to rescue Krishna? Who can rescue Krishna? So Krishna just generated some heat in his body and Bakasura just could not contain Krishna in his throat. And Bakasura just spat Krishna, opened his mouth and Krishna just came out of the mouth and he bifurcated the beak of Bakasura as effortlessly as a child would just bifurcate a kusha grass blade. All the Gopas by this time they became conscious. They saw how Krishna killed Bakasura and they felt so happy and they congratulated him. With great happiness, they came back to Vrindavan, to their homes from the forest. They started giving a report to Nanda Maharaj and all the elderly Gopas. Here is the main point of today's class. Please repeat after me. Iti nandadayo gopaha Krishna Rama kathamudan Kurvanto ramamanascha Navindam bhavavedanam. The answer, the meaning of this shloka is Iti nandadayo gopaha Krishna Rama kathamudan. In this way, all the Gopas were happily discussing the pastimes of Krishna and Balaram with great happiness. All the little cowherd boys started narrating to the elderly cowherd men and women. They were saying, you know what happened today? Today one new calf came to our herd. And the elders were saying, oh, new calf? Whose calf? We don't know whose calf was it. But Krishna detected that the calf was not a calf was a demon. Oh, what did Krishna do then? Krishna slowly went behind the calf and caught his hind legs. Oh, really? They were very curious. Now that you know the pastime, there's no suspense for you. Just put yourself in the shoes of the original elderly Gopas and Gopis who are hearing this for the first time as some 3-4 kids are narrating. There's a lot of anxiety within the heart. There's also an excitement. So Krishna went and did a lot of love for Krishna. They felt that, oh, what did Krishna do next? They're very curious to understand Krishna's pastime. So Krishna caught the legs of this calf and twirled him around and threw him on a tree. Oh, really? What happened then? Then the Gopa said, because of the weight of this calf demon, so many kapita fruits fell from the tree and we ate the fruits. Wow, did you get some fruits for us? It began with a great tragedy. It ended with great comedy. That's how Vrindavan pastimes are. Then later they started narrating. A big gigantic mountain like crane came there. And the crane swallowed Krishna. Really, crane swallowed Krishna. And they were anxious. They were seeing Krishna right in front of them. They understood Krishna is safe. But what happened later? Then the Gopa started narrating. Krishna came out of the beak of this crane and just like a small child just bifurcates a blade of grass, Krishna just bifurcated the beak of crane demon and killed the demon. Really? You can see the dead body there? Oh, let's go tomorrow. The night it's written with so much of innocence. They were narrating Krishna's pastime in great detail. I finished in 1 or 2 minutes, but they were narrating. Just imagine when kids start narrating stories. So elders, whole day all these adults were in separation from their children. Now the children came back home in the evening and they started narrating the stories of Krishna every day. How they played with Krishna and Vrindavan, what kind of pastimes they did, what kind of games they played, what kind of fruits they ate, what kind of flowers they saw, what kind of monkeys did they imitate. So like that they were narrating so many pastimes of Krishna every day. And the elderly Gopas and elderly Gopis, they were hearing these pastimes with great happiness. Iti nanda the yogopa Krishna Rama kathamuda. Kurvantoravamaanasya navindam bhavavedana. In this way, the Gopas and the Gopis are constantly discussing Krishna's pastimes with great happiness, with great distress. Navindam bhavavedana, they did not experience any distress. Although there was so much distress in Vrindavan, 10 times or 100 times or 1,000 times, maybe million times more than the distresses that we experience in our lives. Do you think you have some distress in your life? Are you experiencing some calamity and reversals in your life? Just consider what kind of reversals and calamities the Brajavasis are facing. You may have some backache or headache or some financial problem or some other health problem or some relationship issue or ego clashes with others. But see the amount of distress that Brajavasis are facing in their lives. Putana is coming, Sakatasur, Bakasur, Vatsasur, Vyamasur, Aghasur, Adhistasur, Keshi. They are very mystic, powerful demons. Every single day some demon is coming and attacking the piece of the man. How much tolerance they had. In fact, they are not tolerated. They are seeing equanimity. they are happy. They elevated their consciousness. They are actually in an elevated consciousness of constantly relishing Krishna's pastimes. Therefore, they did not experience any distress. Navindam bhavavedanam. No bhavavedana, no distress of material existence touched the hearts of Brajavasis because they are absorbed in discussing Krishna Katha. The main lesson for today's whole 1 hour discussion is when we absorb our minds in glorification of Krishna, in Krishna Katha, then we need not experience any distresses, although they exist. As long as we are living in this world, distresses definitely exist. But they don't affect a devotee to the degree a devotee is absorbed in Harikatha. That's what Vrindavan verses are teaching us. I just spoke for 5 demons only. Putana, Sakatasur, Trinavarta, Vatsasur, Bakasur. 5 demons. By this time, Krishna is only 3 years old. There are many more demons. Kaliya comes, suddenly coils Krishna. Aghasur comes, swallows all the gopas and all the calves. What is our problem? What are how insignificant are our problems compared to the problems faced by the Brajavasis? But they are very happy, very blissful, excellent life. They never thought that Krishna came into our lives, our lives are filled with calamities. If only we remove Krishna from our company, we can happily live. Before Krishna came, no demon came. After Krishna came, all demons came. They never thought that why we have to be with Krishna. In fact, when Krishna is going away from Vrindavan, the Vrajavasis were crying in pain, especially the gopis were crying in pain. They were singing their Viraha Gita. Akrura was taking Krishna away from Vrindavan and they were saying, he is not Akrura, he is Krura. He is cruel. He is taking our lives away from our bodies. What kind of person he is. So, some gopis were catching the wheels of Akrura's chariot. Some gopis were catching the horses of Akrura's chariot. Some gopis took the driver and threw him down and started beating him. Some gopis caught Krishna and started crying, Krishna, please don't go. Piteously they were lamenting. Some gopis caught Balaram, please tell Krishna not to go. Brajavasis never wanted to leave Krishna. Never wanted Krishna to leave them. Brajavasis never had even thought of relinquishing Krishna's association to avoid calamities. Let calamities exist. They don't affect us as long as Krishna is here. We will handle any kind of distress in our lives by discussing Krishna. Yesterday we discussed how to cultivate wonderful Vaishnava relationships. What was the message yesterday? Discuss Krishna Katha with devotees. That's how your hearts come closer to each other. That's how you come closer to each other and together you come closer to Krishna by regularly discussing Krishna Katha with other devotees. We discussed it yesterday. Tushyanti charmanti cha machitta makkata prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantasya maham nityam tushyanti charmanti cha parasparam kathanam pavanam bhagavad gishah mitho ratihi mitha tushtir nivrittir mitha atmanah. Devotees constantly discuss Krishna Katha with other devotees. That's how their hearts are bound to each other in spiritual friendship, in spiritual love and affection for each other. Similarly, to tackle all distresses in our lives, we need to follow the example of Rajavasis and discuss Krishna Katha with other devotees. The more we discuss about Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, the more our consciousness is spiritualized and the more we come closer to each other, the more we transcend the dualities of this material world. When we are experiencing some distress, what's our expectation? Some friend should come and console us. We need a shoulder where we can put our head and shed tears. Right? How do we get friends? By discussing Krishna Katha with friends, with other devotees. And when we face some calamity, when it's so overwhelming, they will come and console us. They will wipe our tears. They will offer their shoulder, please. Don't cry. My dear friend, Krishna is there for us. When Yashodamata is crying in separation from Krishna, all the other motherly gopis are trying to console her. In this way, when we make it a point that we regularly come together to discuss about Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. There are hundreds of pastimes of Krishna and Krishna's incarnations and Krishna's devotees in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Chaitanya Charitamrita. There are beautiful shlokas in Bhagavad Gita describing Krishna's tattva, Krishna's protective ability, Krishna's forgiveness, Krishna's opulence. All the Shastras, Prabhupada had spent sleepless nights to write all the Shastras for us, to make these transcendental books accessible to us in a language that we can understand. If he had spent sleepless nights to give this literature to us, at least during the daytime we study them. Let's study them. So much hard work Acharyas have done. Goswamis have done. So much literature they have offered to us. It's not just meant for selling to others, giving it to others. We have to do it inevitably, but we also need to nourish ourselves with all the information, with all the exciting pastimes presented in the scriptures. Nourish our hearts. Share that nourishment with others. That's what preaching is. And the more and more we absorb our minds in Harikatha, the more we become oblivious to the temptations and tribulations of this world. Vyamoha prashamaushadham nivano vritti pravrityaushadham. Krishna Katha is aushadha. Krishna is our only protector. When we take shelter of Krishna Nama and Krishna Katha, Krishna will protect us. Krishna rakshatu no jagatraya guru Krishnam namadham sada Krishne nakhila shatravo vinihata Krishnaya tasmai namah Krishna deva samuthitam jagadikam Krishnasya dasosmyaham Krishne tishtati vishvameta dakhinam He Krishna rakshasva mam. Krishna rakshatono jagatraya guru. Krishna is the master, the teacher of all three worlds. Krishnam namadham sada. Let us offer obeisances to Krishna only. Krishnena akhila shatravo vinihata. When we take shelter of Krishna, he will destroy your enemies. You don't have to worry. I have to destroy my enemies. That's not your job. You don't have to do that. Krishna will do that. Krishnena akhila shatravo vinihata. When so many demons came, who killed them? Brajavasis killed them or what? Krishna killed them. Similarly, when calamities come in our lives, who will destroy the calamities? We will destroy? No, Krishna will destroy. What we have to do? Take shelter of Krishna. And how we have to take shelter of Krishna? By chanting his names and by discussing his pastimes. That's all. Worship Krishna. Just four things Krishna said. Krishna gave us only four things. Manmana, Bhava Bhakto, Madhyaji, Mam Namaskuru. That's all. Only four things. If you do it, he will take care. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami master. Don't worry that you will incur sin. Don't worry that people will trouble you. Enemies are troubling you. Calamities are troubling you. Financial problems are there. Health problems are there. Don't worry about all that. Do the needful as far as your capacity goes. You do whatever is humanly possible and leave the rest to Krishna. Or if you are facing so much of distress in life, take it as a source of purification. I have done so much of sins, many mistakes I have committed. Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, is giving me this little token punishment for my purification. That's the understanding of a devotee. Tatena tampam susamikshamaano bhunjana evatmakritam vipakam hridvagva purbhir vidadhan namaste jivetayo muktipade sadaya bhak. Jivetayo muktipade sadaya bhak. When we face all reversals and distresses and calamities in our lives, thinking that they are just results of my own past misdeeds, along with this understanding, we also take shelter of Krishna with our body, mind, and words. Then mukti, liberation will just become our inheritance. Inevitably, it will come to us. You don't have to worry about it. Krishna will take care. Just worship him, endure all the difficulties that come of their own accord in your lives. Try to avoid them as much as humanly possible. That much effort you have to put. But when situation is beyond your control, what will you do? Surrender to the situation. With all your intelligence, money, manpower, intelligence, contacts, influence, you cannot solve every problem. You may be able to solve some problems, but you may not solve every problem. All you have to do is surrender to it. Experience, endure, take shelter of Krishna. Make calamity as your friend who assists you in intensifying your remembrance of Krishna. What a great perspective this is. You distress, you came here. Come here, come. You are my friend. You are helping me to take shelter of Krishna. You are intensifying my prayerful attitude. You are increasing my remembrance of Krishna. You are my dearest friend. I am coming closer to Krishna. I am remembering him more and more. Please stay with me always. That's how devotees feel. Vipadaha santutaha shashvat tatra tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam yasya tapunar bhavadarshanam. Let calamities come again and again and again and again. No problem. You should not get overwhelmed. You should feel happy. You should not become discouraged. You should be determined to perform devotional service. When distresses come in our lives, when difficulties come in our lives, we have two options. Either become demotivated and discouraged and depressed and dysfunctional, or become more and more determined in devotional service and take shelter of Krishna. Intensify your dependence on Krishna. You can do that. Make calamity, make friendship with calamity. Avoid it as much as possible. But if it's coming to you more and more, take it. You're my friend. First you say, out. You use so many tools of your money, manpower, contacts, and intelligence, throw it out. Still it's coming. Fine, come and sit here. We are friends. Okay, I'll speak to you, Krishna Katha. You make me more prayerful in chanting the holy names. That's how many devotees dealt with. Gajendra lived for 1,000 years in the water. Before that, I don't know what is Gajendra's age. But for several years, Gajendra is identifying himself as an elephant, as the king of the entire forest, the Tripura mountain region. He was thinking like that. He did not remember Krishna. Only when the crocodile caught his leg, only when all his strength failed, only when the strength of all his friends also failed, only when he understood that no force in this entire Trikuta mountain region is able to protect me from this crocodile, then he took shelter. It's good. If calamity is helping us to come closer to Krishna, it's good. Don't hate distresses. Develop detachment from this material world. All difficulties that we experience in life will help us to become more and more detached from this material pleasures and material pains. Whether it is pain or pleasure, it has no relevance to the soul. Soul has nothing to do with all the excitements and exhaustions of this material realm. Pain is of no relevance to the soul. Soul is not experiencing the pain. The material mind is experiencing. The material intelligence is experiencing anxiety. The material ego is experiencing honor and dishonor. The material body is experiencing heat and cold. But the soul is pure, Satchidananda. You have a golden ring. Some other ring fell into gutter when you are doing Vrindavan Parikrama. It fell into gutter. Will you pick it up or not? Will you pick it up?
Yes.
Golden ring,
Yes.
diamond ring.
Yes.
It went in field. Gutter. Fields are there. Will you pick it up or not? You'll not pick it up, right? $10,000. $10,000. Yes or no? How are you? No. It's very detached. Will you pick it up? Will you grab it? You are not pick it up. Your parents will pick it up. If you are not earning, you don't get value. Face mask falls. Will you pick it up? No better. Just small normal dust is there. Dry dust. Still you will not pick it up, right? Face masks. Not of much value. But diamond ring, great value. You'll have to pick it up. Don't be shocked your parents. Don't shock your parents. Anyways, point that I'm trying to make is, even if golden ring falls into gutter, it doesn't lose its value. Similarly, even if spirit soul is entrapped in this material, filthy material body, filthy material existence, the soul doesn't lose its innate intrinsic quality of Satchit Ananda. We are parts and parcels of Krishna. We are Amshas of Krishna. Eternally we are Amshas of Krishna. We are spiritual in nature. Our spiritual nature may be covered by the material ego, material ignorance, and material body for a while, but it's never lost. It's covered, it's not lost. The process of Bhakti Yoga is to reinstate that spirit soul in its original glory as a servant of Krishna. Mahim Vishve Mahiyate. In its original Mahima, you reinstate it. This is how we need to deal with distresses in life. There is no other way. Take shelter of Krishna's Naam and Krishna Katha. Holy name will protect us. Sincere, helpless chanting of the holy names of Krishna will protect us from all calamities. Holy name may not exactly solve your financial problems or health problems. Krishna Katha may not exactly resolve your financial problems and health problems. But Krishna Katha and Krishna Nam will equip us internally, will equip our consciousness with so much of strength that we will become oblivious to all these miseries. It will give us the strength. Tapatraya Udmulanam of the Tapatrayas are uprooted by taking shelter of Krishna Nam and Krishna Prem. शत्रुच्छेदैकमन्त्रम् सकलमुपनिषद्वाक्यसम्पूज्यमन्त्रम् संसारोच्छेदमन्त्रम् समुचिततमसः सङ्घनिर्याणमन्त्रम् सर्वैश्वर्यैकमन्त्रम् व्यसनभुजगसन्दष्टसन्त्राणमन्त्रम् जिह्वे श्रीकृष्णमन्त्रम् जप जप सततम् जन्मसाफल्यमन्त्रम् Shatruchedaikamantram, this Krishna mantra will completely destroy all our enemies. We don't have enemies, but there may be some people who may consider us as enemies. And as Prahlad Maharaj told Hiranyakashipu, all our enemies are inside us in the form of lust, envy, pride, greed. Holy name can destroy all of them. Shatruchedaikamantram sakalam upanishadvakya sampujyam. All the Upanishads are praising this Krishna mantra. They are repeatedly recommending that we chant Krishna's names. Sakalam Upanishadvakya Sampurya Mantram Samsarocheda Mantram. This cycle of repeated birth and death is completely eliminated by sincerely taking shelter of Krishna. Samuchita Tamasaha Sangha Niryana Mantram. Whatever attachment we have to this material existence will be vanquished when we take shelter of Krishna's holy names and Krishna Katha. Sarvaishwaryaika mantram. Krishna mantra can give us all opulences, all great boons, benedictions. The greatest opulence that we can get is Krishna Prema. Krishna mantra can give us a Krishna Prema. Sarvaishwaryaika mantram. Vyasana bhujaga sandashta santrana mantram. Holy name of Krishna can destroy all our misgivings and bad habits and attachments and aversions are destroyed by holy name. Jihve Sri Krishna mantram japa japa satatam janma safalya mantram. By taking shelter of Krishna's names, especially by discussing Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's glories regularly in the association of devotees and thus cultivating friendships with other devotees, we become oblivious to all temptations and tribulations in this material world. That's the way of tackling distresses, the Vrindavan way. Iti nanda the yogopaha Krishna Rama kathamuda kurvanto ramamanascha navindam bhavavedana. The Brajavasis are not experiencing any distress in life, although they have tremendous amount of distresses in life, because they're regularly discussing Krishna's footsteps. Indra lifted Govardhan mountain. Indra created devastating rainfall in Vrindavan, and Krishna lifted Govardhan mountain. And the Brajavasis had no anxiety. They came under Govardhan mountain, they seeing Krishna, having all kinds of sweet reciprocations with Krishna. That's all. What happened to their homes? They didn't even remember because there's absorption there. By chanting Krishna's names, by discussing Krishna Katha, we are elevating our consciousness to a spiritual plane from where all the trivial material problems will seem insignificant. When you're traveling in an airplane, all the big buildings and lakes and pathways and roads and cars and trains will become so small right from there. When you're walking on the road, my God, this seems very big. Now what a building. So huge building, tall building, 20 stories, 50 stories, 100 stories. But when you're traveling in an airplane, whether it is in a 20-story building or G+1 structure, it seems this much only. Similarly, when you are traveling in an airplane, whether it is small problem or a big problem, both seem insignificant. When you are traveling in the airplane of Krishna consciousness, by chanting Krishna's names and by discussing Krishna Katha, all big and small material problems seem insignificant. You cannot avoid problems in this world. You can only remain unaffected by problems by taking shelter of Krishna. Can you avoid monsoon rains in rainy season? Can you avoid rains? You cannot. But you can take an umbrella, isn't it? You can take an umbrella. You may not be able to avoid rain. That's what we need to do. Take the umbrella of Krishna Katha. Take the umbrella of Krishna consciousness. Take the umbrella of Krishna's names. Protect yourself from the rain of miseries in this world. And that's what the verses are doing. That's what all the devotees are doing. This is the way of tackling distresses in life. Does it make sense? Granthra actually Bhagavatam ki jai.